Because people who are actually successful know that the most valuable thing in their life is time, not money.
Same thing with business. If I was, in a predicament where I didn't have much money, I didn't have much resources, but this person did it, and more success stories come out of it, then it helps become like what is possible.
Say is getting watched by. So if you're like, so right now, if you go to a hair salon place and they phone me, that content's gonna go viral. So I'm trying to, I know that it's a good thing that my voice is getting big, but it's also mean that I have to be more conscious with the stuff I say, because of my voice, I actually have a high responsibility to give out the right information. And, but if it's something that's who I am and I'm proud of who I am, I'm not gonna say sorry to,
Yeah, I mean, that's the difficult thing where any type of content can be taken out of context, and then people can talk about opinions and thoughts.
You heard from Darren, right? Like that content, I think I was the most viral person for like 2 days in Thailand.
People hated you for that.
In Thailand. I mean, I don't think people hated me for that. I think it's half-half. I think the people that comment on Twitter are this minority, but there are people that agree with me, but it's just in type. So if you look at Instagram and TikTok, they really are in support of me, but Twitter's not. So, but that's the nature of things, and I'm actually proud of it because it sparks conversations, it sparks discussions, and it makes them think. And the whole point of marketing is hate me or love me, but you can't ignore me. And most of the people that actually follow me now used to hate me, but then over time they're like, you know what, this guy actually makes some sense. And then they start to love me. So that's the whole point. Because if they ignore you, they don't remember you, they forget about you. That's the worst. So hate me or love me, but you know who I am.
So how do you convert from that hate?
I don't try. I be myself. I be authentic. I'm not I don't want to be liked, and I don't crave to be liked. I don't desire to be liked. But the most important thing is that I am who I am. I'm myself. So either you like me or you don't like me. It's indifferent for me. But the most important thing is that I have an answer for myself.
So in the comment section, you don't justify yourself. You explain yourself, but you don't justify it.
Why would I need to explain myself? I mean, I post so many videos on a daily basis. I think I'm explaining myself every day. So I think the information's out there. I'm not gonna give them another bone to bite on it. So yeah, I am who I am. I know who I am. I know my intention. I know that I just want to make Thailand better. So no one can tell me otherwise.
Why did you start creating contents?
Because there are actually a few reasons. One is that my business is a freelancing platform. We can be the limbs for any entrepreneurs. If you want to start a business, graphic, logo, photographer, website, we got you. But the one thing that we cannot do for our customers is we can't dream for them. And the one part that I really do feel lacking in Thailand is that people here don't dream very big. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. See, people can take me out of context and be like, CK, it's not just big dreams that's valuable. No, I'm not saying that. Nothing wrong with small dreams. But when everyone is having a small dream, that's kind of issue for me because nobody here in Thailand dare to speak up, dare to say stuff that's in their heart, dare to have big dreams and be vocal about it, dare to start conflicts, dare to disagree, dare to say that I can beat that company, dare to say that I can change Thailand, dare to say that I can make Thailand better, dare to say that I can solve that traffic problem. Nobody dare to say these things. And that's Thailand. Because everyone like to stay within their comfort zones. So I want to be out there because I don't believe that's true. So I believe that Thai people do dream, but they're just too afraid to be vocal about it. Because society have been telling us that this is a reality. They give out statements, not questions. When you give out statements, it closes the mind. A question opens the mind. So for example, if I say Thailand has bad traffic, Thailand has bad inequality issues, Thailand has bad social issues, Thailand political issues nasty. These are statements. So when you say these statements, you closes your mind. You accept that that's the reality. But if you turn that into a question, How can it change Thailand? How can it solve the traffic problem? How can it make the political environment in Thailand better? How can it add more transparency to the system? When you make it a question, it opens up the mind, and now it's possible. Before you can actually fucking make it happen, you gotta see it here first. If you can't even see it in here, and you're just telling yourself that, oh, Thailand's like this. This is how Thailand is. It's never gonna fucking change. So I make my content because I want to spark that conversation. People don't like my content because I say things they don't know. People like my content because I say things they don't dare to say. That's why I make content.
And from my experience living in Thailand, I found that a lot of the Thai people, like they're kind, they're nurturing, they care about people. They're amazing people, right? So I was saying like how many of the businesses in Thailand, the big corporation, right? They're owned by Thai Chinese people, not necessarily like Thai people.
Sure.
I know it's like, so like Thailand has a policy where businesses they try to be protective of their own country. So how do you foster like entrepreneurship amongst the Thai people where they're so protective of maybe the foreigners coming in?
So that's an interesting fact that you just said, because you see a lot of the, if you look at a lot of startups in Thailand, they're almost always come from foreign educated Thai people.
Right.
Are these people smarter? No, they're not smarter, but they just dare to be different. They just dare to start something new. They're okay with being disagreed on, and they're comfortable with failing. And that's the whole point of the Western education. And what I'm trying to say is that doesn't have to be the case. There are actually a lot of very talented Thai entrepreneurs. But if you look at the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Thailand, most of the people who are successful, they're not extremely crazy smart. You don't have to be extremely smart to be very successful in Thailand. If you look at the very rich in Thailand, they're not very smart, but they're very brave. They're usually the first to do it, the first to start, the first to sell, the first to do online channel, the first to do direct sell, the first to sell things this way, the first to do that. So courage is actually what's needed in order to be success, in order for you to find success in Thailand, not smart. You don't have to be crazy smart. In the US, it's different.
Right.
In the US, you have to be crazy smart, because in the US, there's so much competition and there's really not a lot of pain points. So when you're trying to solve pain point, when there aren't that many pain points, it's hard.
Right.
I'll give an example. We have Google. Do we actually say to ourselves that, oh shit, I wish there's an AI, ChatGPT that would make our life so much better? No, we're okay with Google. We're satisfied with Google. We're happy with Google. But then Americans would think of something that fix the problem that we didn't know we needed. We make stuff that are already convenient even more convenient. That takes high level IQ, high level determination, right? But Thailand's different. You don't have to be that crazy smart to be successful in Thailand. You just have to be brave.
Yeah, you just have to do, right? Because everyone in the US does it. And if you don't do it, then there's no handouts, right?
There's no handout anywhere, not even in Thailand.
Well, in Europe, it's a bit different, right? Which is where I'm from. There's handouts everywhere, especially in France. But in the US, it's like it's everyone for themselves. And everyone's, working hard and everyone's competes. And, they pay a lot of money for school, right? Like I went to school in the US. I went to college there.
Sure.
They pay $50K, $70K.
It's fucking crazy.
And it's crazy, right? Like the whole podcast is called Fuck College for a reason.
It's fucking crazy, yeah.
And when you're like 100K, 200K in debt, you're not going to get out of debt by working like 9-to-5 jobs at a corporation for 20, 30 years, right? Never, right? So you got to find a way out of that paradigm. And that's why people try the dream, because that's the only way to get out of that.
Sure. I think that's another issue that you're talking about, though. I think the whole student loan problem, it's deeper than that.
It's 100% deeper.
I wouldn't say that the source of hard work and determination come from debt. I would say that comes from culture, right? It comes from the fact that you don't have to respect your elderly that much. Here, it's like, if the elder is speaking, be respectful. They would say like, รู้จักเข้าหาผู้ใหญ่. They teach you that ever since you were like little kids, meaning that know how to get close to the rich and powerful, the elderly. That's how they teach their kids. Mom and dad, that's how they teach their kids. But US, no. If your dad's named John, you call him John. What's up, John? Right? I go into my friend's house. I don't call him like, สวัสดีครับคุณพ่อ I don't do that. What's up, John? How's it going, man? That's how we it's not there's always this respect, but we don't press ourselves down in order to respect somebody. And that's what I love about the US culture, is that really it's the best idea wins. You can't convince me anything. You have to prove it to me in order for me to believe
it's an earned respect.
It has to be earned.
Like, whether you are young or old, whether you're from abroad.
Thailand's given. Thailand is, if you're a puyai, you're a fucking puyai. It doesn't matter if the stuff that comes out of your mouth is dog shit, stupid. You're puyai, people respect you. And that's what I'm here to change, right?
You always talk about making Thailand better. It's like one of the big things as well. Like the social dynamics among like how you see the elders, how you see people in position of power, people who have been here before, and how people say, hey, you gotta respect your elders, but hey, we're here to make changes happen. The world has changed so much in the last 5 years, let alone 20 years. Like, how do you see yourself helping the young type people right now that, there's less and less, solution now. And when it comes to making change happen, it's like through business, it's through politics. Like, what is your angle here?
Business. I think what actually would change Thailand is business, not politics. I think politics is very hard to change in Thailand because it takes years. If you look at the parliament, I would say 60% of the people are still quite old generations. So you really have to give it time for new idea to get in. And that's why I really do encourage younger kids to, don't tell yourself that politics in Thailand is dirty. Don't tell yourself that, because that would close out your mind and makes you be too afraid to get into the politics in Thailand, because politics in Thailand parliament needs new ideas. So it needs people like you to dare to get into politics and get yourself out there. But in order to speed up the process, I think business is what's needed. If you look at how the world have changed the past 20 years, it's not from politics, it's from businesses. Google's is a business. Apple is a business. Uber is a business. ChatGPT is a business, right? So at the end of the day, stuff that actually pushed the world forward is business. So the point of politics is like a kitchen, right? It's a kitchen clean, it's a kitchen well supplied. That's politics. But the person that cooks and serves the customer and make it a dish, that's still a business. So you need both. And I think my business is making a huge change already. We're trying to spread cash flow income to the entirety of Thailand, and we empower SME all over Thailand to dream, to do things they wanted. Because in order to change Thailand, we need more SMEs. SMEs are key. No country, it's good without SMEs. If a country is all they have is our like monopolies and everything is like the slave of these monopolies, that's not a good country, right? So in order for a country to thrive, you need to empower SMEs, the smaller guys, the middle class, and the middle class will dry up the lower class. That's the key. SME is the key. So that's all I do. And also my content. I do my content every day because I want to push the kids to want to do the same for Thailand. And bro, I'm gonna make it happen, man.
Yeah, the Thai people love the country. That's like 100% the truth here. They deeply care about the country. They want to make change happen. They want to improve themselves. Not only them, but so the people around them, right? It's a community. So there's so many like young adults or even like teenagers listening to you right now. It's like, okay, I get what you're saying. I dare to dream. I want to change. I know that business is maybe one path to make that change happen. What will you say to them when it comes to like the skill set they need to build to potentially get to build a business, right? Because everyone starts at different points. School doesn't give the best tools to build a business because it's all like theory, maybe it's outdated content. If they were to start from scratch, let's say they're 18 right now, what would you say like is the number one skill they should shape or acquire to get to that first step?
It depends on the business, right? So different business require different skill. So if you're a software business, you definitely, if you're not a technical person, you would need a technical person. But I think the most important skill set of all is you need to be able to tell a story. I think that's the most important part of a job of a CEO and any entrepreneur is you have to be able to tell what's your business within like 15 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to spend like 20 minutes to explain to somebody what the fuck do you do, that's bad. So one, you need to be able to storytell. Not just tell what's your business, but why is your business important? And how is your business going to disrupt? And why is your business the future?
Mm-hmm.
Because why? Because you need to talk to customer. You need to attract employees, the best employees in the market. You need to attract investors. So in order to convey that, you need to be able to tell a story. I think the most important of all these three would be the ability to attract great talent. If your companies cannot attract great talents, you don't have a great company. If your company don't have good people, you cannot have a good company. Cannot. Because a company is a definition of a group of people working on something to create something that customer are willing to pay that's more valuable than the price they pay.
Right.
Right? So if that group of people are not talented, you're not going to have a good product. So the role of a CEO is not to do everything himself, but rather to attract people who are smarter than him to want to work with him, not for him.
Mm-hmm.
And you ask yourself this question. You want to start out a business, you're nobody. Your company name is XYZ. You want to attract this McKinsey consulting talent, or Bain and Company, or Meta, TikTok, Shopee, X Grab, X Uber, X Google. You want to attract these people to join your company. How? They're getting paid $400K a month. Why would they join you? That's the skill.
Yeah.
If you have that skill, you're going to be a great company. How do you attract these great people?
Would you say coffee is your only main addiction? Anything else you can't live without?
I mean, you're talking about like something that you can physically, something tangible, or do you count anything that's intangible?
Let's talk about tangible right now.
Tangible, I think coffee would be one of them. Water, I drink shit tons of water, but that's obvious one. No one can live without water. But if it's intangible, I can't live without a goal.
Without what?
I can't live without a goal.
A goal.
And I'm not saying that to sound like, oh, this guy, it's like a life coach, where the fuck it is. I really can't live without a goal. I was on antidepressant for almost a year, 3 years ago. Diagnosed with depression, and I was taking this medication called Lexapro. Mm-hmm. If anyone ever taken Lexapro, they would know that Lexapro makes you feel numb, and you don't feel shit. And there was a period of my life that I thought, what's the point of this? Why am I alive? For what? All my life, and I was like young, my goal was to be successful, have financial freedom. That's the goal. And once I have a goal, I'm a very disciplined kind of person that I'll do anything. I'm willing to suffer in order to achieve that goal. And I did achieve that goal 3 years ago. I was at a spot where I could retire, and then I started to wonder, okay, I've climbed this very tall mountain. What's next? And I start falling to these social media bullshit where you need to buy this car, go to that vacation. I didn't know I was lost, right? I saw all these people were so happy on the social media with all these material goods, and I fall into that trap, and and I bought a bunch of stupid shit. And I thought, that must be happiness. And I fucking bought a shit tons of it. Trust me. I did. I mean, for those who said material goods brings you happiness, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. And after a while, I think I got lost because I never liked these things. I never liked cars, but I bought cars. Never liked cars. I couldn't tell you anything about car. Like, I'm not a car guy. Like, I can't tell you like, oh yeah, this is a V8, V12, like NA engine. I can't tell you much about cars. Like I bought cars when I didn't even like cars. So why? Because I was buying things that it wasn't even for me, but I was buying things that I thought that would be the source of happiness when happiness actually comes within and not outside. So I was lost, so I started taking antidepressant. I saw the psychiatrist at MedPark, and she even asked me, "It's like, CK, what the fuck? You're young, you're successful. Why are you here?" I can't tell her an answer. I don't know. But it was during those 6-7 months of taking Laxapro that really saved my life. Because when you don't feel down or up, when you feel numb, it was during those periods where I can really have a deep conversation with myself where, CK, why were you happy before? You were really happy before. If those people who know me before I had money, they would know that I eat 7-Eleven once a day. I would eat them at 2 to 3 p.m. so I can save money, so I wouldn't feel hungry at night. I would spend no more than 200 baht a day on food. I eat shit tons. Right? I mean, I would get like 3 boxes of 7-Eleven because I love food, but I never go out to drink for 6 years. Not because I don't like drinking or I don't like partying. It's just because I want to save. I never go on any vacations. I never see my parents. I never fly anywhere. I mean, I couldn't tell you anywhere. I haven't been to France. I haven't been to England. I don't go to these places because I want to save money. So I do everything to save money. I was obsessed and I was happy. The most important thing is that I was happy. But so I asked myself, why was I happy? Not because I was enjoying doing these things, but rather because I loved the goal that I had.
The climb, right?
Yeah, I love the climb. So I figured it out after 7 months was, shit, I needed a new goal. But this time around, I want a mountain that was impossible to climb. A mountain that I know that this lifetime, even the day I die, I wouldn't finish climbing. And that's the goal of making Thailand better. Because I know that Thailand can always be better. I trick myself in a way that I know that this mountain, it's infinite. There's never going to be a day where Thailand's perfect. So the reason why I do fast work and the reason why my goal is to make Thailand a better place is actually a very selfish goal. It's not a selfless goal. It's a selfish goal. I did that to save my life. And it was a goal where I needed that something to chase so I can finally love my in-between, the process. And that's why I can't live without a goal. And that's just within my DNA. That's just within my DNA. I'm not saying that should be for everyone. That's just for me.
I think like so many entrepreneurs go through that phase of depression where they have it all. And now it's like, what's next? And a lot of people obviously don't like the way they feel when they're depressed. I have my own phase when I was depressed when I was like 19, 18, 19, took 3 different types of antidepressant for 2 years.
Sure.
Didn't work out. Looking back, I just love that your body and your mind just knows what you should do, but they don't have a way to communicate out with you, right?
Sure.
It's like your body and mind say, hey, you got to change. Something needs to happen, right?
Sure.
But we can't tell you that. So, hey, we're going to make you feel this way, and you have to figure out yourself, like, why you have to get out of
You're
this.
absolutely fucking right. Because Jim Carrey, you just said that depression is your body telling yourself that stop being this person you're not. That's depression.
Yeah. Depression is like a compass saying to you like, hey, where you're going now is not the right direction.
Yeah.
We don't have a way to tell you how or why, but here's the way you're feeling. There's a reason why you don't like this life anymore.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean that what you did before didn't matter. It's like, hey, you need to evolve, you need to change because that's the next chapter of your life.
Sure.
So what did you do? What were the questions that you asked yourself when you were in that phase where you were lost, you had it all? What question should someone ask themselves if they are depressed right now?
Ask them what actually made them happy before, and what made him or her unhappy now. Constantly ask that question. Look for it. Ask yourself, why the fuck was I happy before? Was it because I love 7-Eleven? No. Because I can have 7-Eleven now, I wouldn't be as happy. Why was I happy before? And why am I happy now? Keep on asking that question until you find an answer. Antidepressant is not going to solve your issue. Antidepressant is just going to make you feel constant now. But a person who is going to solve the source of the issue, that's you. You have to have an answer for yourself. Antidepressant is for you to give you time to fucking talk to yourself, have that inner voice and be like, why was I unhappy? And why was I happy? You got to find an answer. And antidepressant is not going to find an answer for you.
It actually prevents you from feeling their pain to trigger an action that needs to happen.
Sure.
Everyone has their own, obviously, threshold when it comes to how much you can take. Obviously, like if you're in a bad place in your life, talk about it, seek help. But if you always numb yourself for many years without taking action, like that's tough.
Bro, it's not. I'm telling you, antidepressant is not like, it's not something that you should take long term.
100%.
It's not. Bro, when I was taking antidepressant, I couldn't even. The medication that I was taking for 7 months, I don't even feel I needed any sexual activity.
It numbs everything.
It numbs everything.
Everything.
And do you think that's healthy? It's harder for me to laugh. It's hard for me to feel sad. I don't taste the food that much. Bro, it's like, that's not long-term things, man. And people be like, oh, I need my meds. I need my meds. No, you don't need your meds. You need an answer for yourself, right? Because I was taking the medication to try to figure out how to fucking get off it, not to keep on being on it. Because every time you're gonna go to that fucking psychiatrist's office, they're gonna prescribe you another 2 months, another 2 months, another 2 months. And that's all money for them. Like 7,000 baht, bro. 7,000 baht for every 2 months. That's not cheap.
It's a great business for them.
It's a great business for them. And they're gonna be like, oh, another 2 months. Oh, another 2 months. Oh no, there's no side effect. Another 2 months. No, bro, you gotta listen to yourself, not the fucking doctor. Seriously.
I think that most of the time when people are depressed is they've looked for an answer, they work really hard for the answer, and they realize this answer is not for them, and they don't know where else to look for an answer. So they're lost, right? This lack of vision.
You have to keep on finding it. You have to keep on finding it. Because we all have had a period where we were happy. Our body were capable of producing serotonin. All of us, our body is made that way. But you just have to find that trigger. You can't be like, oh, fuck, I'm this way. I'm depressed. I need to cancel my meds. That's not a healthy way to live your life, man.
100%.
I mean, I know this is like a very harsh truth, but I've been on meds. It's not fun to be on meds. It's not fun. I don't feel, it's hard for me to laugh. It's hard for me to cry. It's hard for me to do anything. So the whole point of being on meds is to find a way to get off it. That's the point, not to be on it forever.
Yeah. I think this loss of vision is critical of people who are depressed. It's like they don't see themselves getting better, right? They look for solutions. They look for ways to get out of that. And this is why, people like you, who have the story of, I was on it before. I had everything. It didn't work out for me. My friends told me it was the right thing for me. And then you got off from it, right? It's part of your story, meaning that people who are in it now, it's like they hire all the people who have been in the shoes, in the positions, and they got out of it.
Yeah.
And it sounds cheesy, right? To talk about it. It's, oh, everyone's been there, you've been there, you're in it right now. It's not easy, but you get out there. But the people who talk about it, it's so critical because they can see themselves in other people. So, hey, if that person was here in this shoe, and so can I get out of this. Same thing with business. If I was, in a predicament where I didn't have much money, I didn't have much resources, but this person did it, and more success stories come out of it, then it helps become like what is possible.
Sure.
And I think the thing I love the most about you, man, is the fact that when I grew up, I didn't have any like Asian role model. I didn't have any Asian entrepreneur to look up to. And when I built my own business, it was still the same thing where most of my mentors were Caucasian, they weren't Asian, they weren't young.
Sure.
But you have to become the definition of what is possible for yourself so that other people can get inspired by that. And I think that more and more now, because we're vocal, we are on social media, it's becoming like more and more possible just because people talk about it. So I love what you're doing, man. How you're inspiring yourself to do it and how you're inspiring other people to share their own story.
Yeah.
And that just changes the paradigm of what is possible for so many people.
Correct. Because like changing talent can't just be me, right? I need to inspire so many more people to want to be on this journey with me. It's going to take a fucking army. And over time, I'm just stretching. I'm not even warming up, right? Give me another 10 years. Give me another 10 years. If I keep on doing what I do for 10 years, with the same discipline, even more, I'm gonna have a fucking army behind me. Army as in dreamers. I'm gonna be able to change Thailand with voice. With just my voice and just my business, I can. I know that I can. And I like to be optimistic. And I like when Elon said, you have to be excited to be alive for the next day. You have to be excited for tomorrow. Even though it's likely that your optimism is false, but it's still better to be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right.
100%.
So I want to be able to feel that and believe that and know that I can change Thailand. The first step, you gotta have the courage to say it. Before me, nobody said it. They want to make Thailand better. I want to make Thailand better. I can change Thailand. Who said it? No one. I'm the first. I'm the first in Thailand, man, to fucking dare to say it days in, days out. Because if you have the vision and you have the courage to speak it and you back it up with discipline, hard work, determination, it's gonna fucking happen, man. That's called the law of attraction.
You grew up abroad, you studied in the US, and then you came to Thailand. What made you fall in love with the country in the first place?
This place was a home for me, man. I didn't have a home. I grew up without a home. I grew up without a place to call home. I mean, I was in the US all my life, 13, summer vacation. I had nowhere to go. My host family would say, hey, go home. I had some other plans. We were going to ski with my family. You're not my family. You go home to your home country. I had no home. My parents divorced. I had no home, like no physical home that I can go to. That home was empty. Like nobody lived there. Once my family broke up, that home was on sale. I had no home. I was born in Macau and I wouldn't want to go back to Macau because one is expensive. You wouldn't be able to find a place to rent in Macau. You want me to live in a hotel and a casino when I was 13? Fuck that. So I had to come to Thailand. It was the only place I could go to. So I would stay at Bachela Pen Soi Jet, Hoi Kwang. I would stay there. It's an apartment about 40 square meter. Pretty old apartment. Very old. And not my family that made this home for me, but Thai people made this home for me. Because when I come downstairs every morning to the Lan Mu Bing, to the Lan Som Tam, to the Lan Khao Gang, to the Lan Game, to the Lan Sak Pom, they fucking remember me every time. CK, how is US? CK, you're taller. CK, you look good. Tell me some stories, CK. So Thailand's my home. It's a very natural thing for anyone to want to do good for their home, right? You want to do good for your family. They want to do good for your family. You know, you work hard because you want to take your kids to have a great education. You want to buy a home for your family.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. I want to do good for my family, but my home is just fucking big, and Suvarnabhumi is the front door of my home. That's it. I want to do the best for this country because this is my fucking home. I'm not saying this to be a hero. I'm saying this because this is my home. This is the place I feel the most belong. And yeah, man, I'm not trying to be a hero here. I'm not trying to look like a hero or to look good on camera. Bro, this is fucking me. With camera, without camera, I'll tell you the same. I just want to make Thailand better.
It's literally giving back what a parent has given to you. In this case, for you, the parent is Thailand, the whole country.
Correct.
And that feeling anyone can relate to.
Yes.
So you're giving me so much, and I see how you are now. I want to give back to the entire family, and it's just natural.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ego. It's not a mission. It's just like a natural thing to do.
Mm-hmm. And it's a goal. I'm telling you, the fact that I said I want to make Thailand better is a selfish goal, not a selfless goal, because Thailand saved my life twice. Once was when I had no home, and two is when I had no goals. I owe Thailand everything.
Mm.
I'm not trying to be a hero. I owe Thailand my life.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why there's so many people who move to Thailand, where the first time they come here, they come for a couple of weeks, and then the second time they come here, they stay for 10 years.
Sure. It's a magical place.
It's a magical place.
It's a magical place. It's the best country in the world.
For the people who never been to Thailand,
yes,
they don't understand this feeling that we have.
You've never lived. I would tell them you never lived. You never know what human connection feels like if you never lived in Thailand. Bro, I lived in the US all my life.
Mm-hmm.
All my life. Never felt not even one day that I felt US was my home. Bro, imagine going to a restaurant with your friends, and you order your dish and I order my dish, and if I pick up from your dish and you'd be like, don't touch my fucking food. Do you feel home?
I get it.
That's the US.
I get it.
Don't take my fries, bro. And I take them to a Thai restaurant. We order all these sharing dish. What do? They would take their stuff, pour it on their plates, and put it back.
Mm-hmm.
Because don't touch my plate. This is my plate. That's the US. Some people that might feel like home. For me, no. I grew up in an Asian culture where we share. We share happiness. We share laughter. We share food. We share stories. That's my home.
It's a great life here, man. It's a great life. The people make it so great. And you know, there's so many of our friends that they move here as well, and they build families here. And every time they go home, they go to their home country. It's like, oh, I want to go back to my actual home. Like when they land at the airport, it's like, oh, I'm back home.
Yep.
What are some of the things that you say to people who never been to Thailand? What are the kind of food, what kind of things they should see that's not known for people so they can experience what you have experienced yourself?
I would say that when you're here in Thailand, I would put myself in a situation where I can interact with people the most. Because the most magical part about Thailand is Thai people. It's not the place. Mm-hmm. It's not the temples. It's not even the food. Mm-mm. It's the people. So put yourself in a situation where you can interact with people. Put yourself in a situation where you can be lost and you need to rely on people. Hey, where should I go? I'm trying to get to Asok. Where should I go? That interaction is going to make you fall in love with Thailand. What makes Thailand amazing is not the place. It's not the food. It's not anything. It's the people. Mm-hmm. The hospitality that we have for not just customer, but for foreigners, for strangers, it's within our DNA.
Why do you think Thai people are so kind? Why do you think they're so caring? Why do you think they are so? Why do you think they look out for you?
I really do think it's the religion. I think Buddhism teaches people to not take anything for granted. Not even the little ants, right? To do good and to believe in karma. I really do think religion plays a big part. Because in other religion, I would say that there could be so many interpretations towards Christianity and Muslim. Not saying that I'm an expert in religion, right? But in Buddhism, almost it's a teaching where it tells you that the best way to live your life is to live your life for others. And I think it's the religion and it's the culture, it's the friends that you be with. Yeah, I mean, I don't have good explanation for it, man.
It's interesting because Thailand is not the only Buddhist country. There's so many like neighbor countries that have similar religion.
Yeah, you're right.
But Thailand's different. Like
you're right. I really can't tell you.
Yeah,
I really can't tell you. And man, that's I guess that's magic, man. It's the magical thing about Thailand. It's the unexplainable magic where Thai people are so amazing. It makes anyone feels like home. And that's why this country is amazing. And that's why I love this country so much.
Yeah.
It's the unconditional thing.
It is unconditional thing. People helping you without asking for anything. On the flip side though, Thailand does have a reputation abroad. And a lot of foreigners come here to have fun. They travel here, they mess it up or they don't respect the culture. If you have to give a message to the people who come to Thailand, like to the foreigners that come here, what would it be?
I would say that don't be afraid to make any mistakes. Ask a lot of questions. Don't assume that you're right. Be humble. Ask. If you want to, try new things. When you go to a restaurant, don't order what you're familiar with. Don't just order pad thai, right? Try something different. Ask them. In order, instead of doing what you think is right, ask. Be humble. What do you recommend here? What do the local eat here? What is like the stuff that I need to try here? But don't go to the obvious pad thai, right?
Bro, I don't think I've ever seen a Thai person eat pad thai.
No, I mean, I don't know a lot of Thai people that eat pad thai.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
You don't eat pad thai, right?
But it's amazing. It's amazing. Pad thai is amazing.
Pad thai is amazing, right?
But it just, I'm trying to tell the foreigner to get out of the comfort zone, And there's so much more to Thailand than just beaches. You go to beaches, it's basically a foreign country. You go to Pattaya, Phuket right now, it's a foreign country. Right? But I want them to try to be with the locals.
So 3 cities that are not really known that people should check out.
Khon Kaen is one. They should really go to Khon Kaen. Pakistan is 23 million people. Most of the population are in Pakistan. So if you want to understand Thai people, you got to go to one of the Isan province.
Okay.
I mean, the obvious one is Bangkok. You have to be in Bangkok. That's the center of everything. Another one I would say is Chiang Mai. The good thing about Chiang Mai. No, actually, I gotta put Southern Songkhla has to be one of them as well, because you gotta experience both of the culture. Songkhla is people are very outspoken there. If they know you, like, hey, what's CK? CK มาประเทศไทยด้วยดิมาสงขลาด้วยมาอะไรมาหาดใหญ่ด้วยเหรอ And they would ask for a picture. They would be ever up front. They would spread their kindness, their hospitality outward. They will express explicitly to you. But Chiang Mai is different. Chiang Mai's people are a little more shy. They're a little more polite. And that's a cute part about Chiang Mai as well. I do recommend going to Chiang Mai for sure, but have to check the pollution a little bit. The pollution is not great. But yeah, these are the places.
Awesome. I see you interact with a lot of students. You know, when you give speeches at schools and universities, what is the most asked questions that you get on the comments or when you go speeches?
It's should I be เป็ด หรือผู้เชี่ยวชาญ so should I be in English should it be a generalist or a specialist?
Okay.
That's the most asked questions. And my answer would be a specialist any day of the week, because nobody remember a generalist. Nobody remember a generalist. When you hire interior design, you want to hire someone who does it for a hobby, or you want to hire someone who did it for thousands of customers, right? Society values specialists. Be good at something. You don't have to be good at everything, because building a company is you got to find people who are smarter than you in other areas to work with you. But if you're good at nothing, that's kind of bad.
Right. This podcast is called Fuck College, right? I have my views on it. You have your view on it. My biggest thing is school, usually they don't teach you the skills that you need, that you use in your real life, unless you're a doctor, or unless you're a lawyer, someone, maybe even a teacher sometimes, right? But doesn't prepare you for real life experience.
I mean, school wants you to be employees.
Yeah, it's perfect for that.
And you know why, right?
It's a factory.
You know why, right?
Because they need to sit.
Because the people that control school and the topics and the subject that they teach in school are governments. And you know who pays the most taxes? Employees. So school wants employees because government wants employees. Because employee pays the most taxes. Everything that you see, the roads, the lights, the train, everything, they're built by employees, middle class. Employees pay the most taxes, not the rich, middle class. So the government wants more employees. So the school needs to create more employees. That's the whole point. That's why they don't teach you about money. They don't teach you about how to make money. They don't teach you about what's money, what's banks. They never teach you how the bank makes money, because they don't want you to think like an entrepreneur. They don't want you to be an employee. They don't want you to be an investor. They want you to be an employee.
It's crazy that how we don't teach kids how to pay taxes, for example, in school, which is like the most basic thing, right?
Because you don't need to teach them how to pay taxes, because it's already withdrawal.
Well,
when you're an employee, the withholding tax is already done.
Yeah.
So you don't need to learn about it.
Yeah.
Because when you learn about it, you get to learn how to avoid it also. They don't want to tell you that.
Yeah, the lack of knowledge is great for them.
Yeah. Ignorance is everything.
Yeah. And then you get into debt, so you have to work. And then you can't find what you want to do, and then you get stuck in that phase.
Sure.
That's interesting. What would be an alternative for school for you? Because I know you have this thing on a t-shirt that says 50K or 35K, where it's like, hey, find a job that pays you some money, but also pays you in skills. Where would someone find a mentor? Where would someone find that person that's teaching the right
within you? I think all these people always talk about like, oh, I need a mentor. I need someone to guide me, to hold my hands. There's no fucking mentors in life.
You didn't have mentors?
No, you just have to grind it out, man. At the end of the day, it's you. Nobody's gonna hold your hand, take you out of the shithole. It's you that have to get the fuck out yourself.
I get that, but like it's like direction, right? Someone who teaches the way that you want.
I mean, you can look up there's stories out there. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, these are all on the internet. You don't need somebody to tell you to get the fuck out. You should get the fuck out. So you don't need a mentor. I think mentor is one of the most overrated thing there is, because, bro, not everyone has the luxury of mentor. I didn't have a mentor. I don't need a mentor.
Even today?
I'm self-driven.
Even today, you don't have a mentor?
No, why would I need a mentor? I'm self-driven. I don't need someone to tell me that don't do that, to do this. Then I don't do that and do this. If nobody tells me, I just go for it. If you have a mentor, good for you. If you don't have a mentor, that's not the end of the world. It's not a requirement to be successful. Just go out there and get it. I mean, at the end of the day, you are your best mentor. Who the fuck knows what's the right thing to do? I'm telling you, that mentor doesn't fucking know either. Jack Ma right now going all around the world telling I'm successful because of A, B, C, D, E. I'm telling you, full of shit. You know why? Because when he was at that point A, he didn't know that point B was the next spot. He did it. Now he did it. Now he can say all these things. But if you copy A, B, C, D, E, you're not going to be as successful as Jack Ma. There has to be some element of luck in everything that you do. There's no such thing as, oh, I do A, B, C, D, E, I'll be rich. No, it doesn't. Life doesn't work that way. So most of them, so take everything as a grain of salt, and just, but figure out yourself. You are your best mentor, man.
I agree on some point where some of that's like billionaires, right? If you're a $1 billion company, you ask advice from your billionaire friends or mentors, that's fine. But someone who's like just getting started, asking advice from billionaire doesn't make sense. Similar to like, let's say you want to learn how to swim better. You getting advice from Michael Phelps, who won like, the most gold medals in the Olympics, doesn't make sense because his thing is too technical for you to understand anyway. And he will not understand like what you need to improve on to get to the next level. But if you never swam before, you're getting lessons from someone who's done it before, then you can have so much more faster growth than anyone else. And business is the same thing.
But there's a flaw in that, even in that logic, there's flawed. Because why would that mentor help you?
Well, let's say you pay for the mentor, right? Let's say he's a teacher then.
But if the mentor is really rich, he doesn't need your money.
He needs your commitment to make it happen.
No, but the point is that why would the mentor even help? If you think about it, why would I spend time to help a kid personally, have private classes, or have to bring him on? Why would I do that for this person? The whole point of a business is everything has to be arm's length. So when you ask for a mentor, you know what you're gonna get from the mentor, but you got as a business, if you want to be in business, you gotta think, what does this mentor get from me as well? If nothing, that's already the end of it. If this mentor charged money to mentor me, he's not a mentor, he's a life coach. Because people who are actually successful know that the most valuable thing in their life is time, not money. You can't pay me anything for me to mentor anyone because I wanted to spend my time with my business. You can't pay Jack Ma enough money to have Jack Ma mentor you. That doesn't happen. So the key is, don't look for a mentor. Just fucking go fight it out. You have enough study cases. Study Jeff Bezos. Study Steve Jobs. Study Elon Musk. The books are out there. Go to a fucking library. Ask ChatGPT. Honestly, you don't need a mentor. You know the answer. But most of the people will be like, oh, I need someone to hold my hands and do it. It's not going to fucking happen. And I'm telling you, and most of these people won't be successful because they're waiting for that mentor. Most of the entrepreneurs have no mentors, man. They fucking do it.
I think I do get your perspective on things where a lot of people wait for the perfect answer for them to start taking action. And even then, they will not do it, right? They're looking for that perfect roadmap, that perfect blueprint, that perfect step-by-step process. But even then, they were like, oh, I'm going to be perfecting that thing first for doing it. Sure. I see your point where it's been an advocate of you trying yourself first, you taking the first step. If it fails, at least understand why. And then you try again and try again and try again.
You got to keep on trying until you fucking make it. That's the whole point of being successful.
And then even when you have a mentor who tells you what to do, even if it doesn't work out, okay, sure, you got to try again and another path opens up.
I'm telling you, even that mentor doesn't fucking know. Like, if Jack Ma tells you how to be successful, how he was successful, you copy everything he does, you won't be successful. You have to be there in the right place and time.
Yeah, I wouldn't listen to Jack Ma because his advice would be irrelevant to my situation, right? If I were to create, let's say, the fast work in Malaysia or back in France, I can learn from you.
Sure, but even if you do everything that I did in Thailand, that might not be successful.
100%.
Right?
I agree.
So I don't know the Malaysian market. So the truth is this. Nobody know how to be fucking successful, even the people who are successful. Because every successful person, there are some elements of luck in it. There's no A, B, C, D, E success. It's not a formula. It's an art. So take everything as a grain of salt. Talk to many different people and find your own unique formula. That's the whole point. I'll tell you one thing. What's 2 plus 8?
10.
What's 7 plus 3?
10.
What's 20 divided by 2?
10.
There are many ways to get to 10. Not one way. Success is just like that. There are many ways to get to 10. So don't be fixed on, 10 must be 7 plus 3. No, 10 can be 100 divided by 10. There are many ways to get to 10. That's success. There are many ways to get to success. Find your own unique ways.
Yeah, everyone have their own story, their own twist to it.
Their own ways to do it. Yes.
I love that, CK.
I mean, I know I'm quite, for me, there's no filter. I need to say the truth. I'm not here to bullshit sell people dream. Oh, you work hard, you'll be successful. No, you work hard. You work hard your whole life. You might not be successful, man. But if you don't work hard, I guarantee you won't be successful. So will you work hard for what? For a chance. Just for a chance.
Love that. I think that we can end with this one question. You keep saying, I want to make Thailand better. What can foreign people like me who come here that have been welcomed by Thailand, what can we do to give back to community and make this country better?
I think what you're already doing is great. So these kind of content, it's important. And if you really want to give back to Thailand, I really would start speaking Thai. I tried making content in English. I tried. At the very beginning, it was in English. It's not mass. Most of the people in Thailand do not speak English. Most of the people. Majority of the population do not speak English here. So if you want to really change Thailand, you got to change the people. In order for you to connect with the people, you have to speak Thai. And I've learned it the hard way. My Thai used to be fucking horrible. And I've tried. Now it has gotten better. So that's the first advice. And keep on doing what you're doing, man. Content is the key. There's no other channels where you can reach millions of people with one click.
What advice would you give to the local Thai person when it comes to making Thailand better? What can they do to empower their own country?
Make more questions. Have less statements. When somebody tells you that Thailand's like this, Thailand can't be changed, it's controlled by monopolies, learn to say fuck you and shape your own reality. Don't, Steve Jobs said it best. Everything around us that we call life, they're made up by people who are no smarter than us. That camera happened because somebody said, fuck, it must be good if you can capture something digitally, right? And that motherfucker made it happen.
He did.
And he made it a reality. And now that's a reality. But it was made by people who are no smarter than us, but just somebody who dares to ask questions. How can they capture memories digitally? How? How can memories not just be within the mind, but actually physical or digital, transferable, reusable? How? It starts with a fucking question, man.
And ask better questions too.
Yes, and he reshaped reality. Edison reshaped reality.
Love that, CK.
Reshape reality. Coffee, reshape reality. Everything, man. Everything. Everything that you call life was made up by people who are no smarter than us.
Yeah, that's a legacy from people who did it.
Yeah.
Love that, CK. Appreciate you for being on the podcast, man.
Appreciate it, man.